Great. So we are tech social media blog from Croatia. You know where Croatia is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So I have written down some questions for you. Some are about Apple and some are about Facebook. So can we start?
Sounds good.
Great. So it's our honor to have Robert Scoble talking for ZIMO. How are you, Robert?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, so tomorrow is a big day for Apple. What do you think Apple will tomorrow reveal? Is it iPhone 5, iPhone 4GS?
Well, they might announce two iPhones. I think they're going to have a high-end one with a better screen, better speed, and more toys, maybe a better camera, and then a lower-end one that has a lower price point because they're going to try to keep Google from taking the market with the Android OS.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, I think there's two things that the press really hasn't picked up on that much. One is this Facebook announcement. And so I expect we'll see an iPad app. But I think the Facebook deal will be far more in depth than just a simple app. I think they're going to announce a sweeping deal tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
where Facebook gets built into iOS in a deep way. The other thing is, you know, now that you have an iPhone, they should be talking about their three-screen strategy. And of course, they won't use that word on stage, but they'll say, "Hey, let's look at what we could do with our iPhone now that we have this beautiful screen with high speed and a nice camera. Oh, let's look at what we can do with Apple TV, or let's look at what we can do with iPad and iPhone together."
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to hear that three-screen strategy throughout the day, I believe. And the unexpected thing is, or the expected thing, is what are they doing on TV? And I keep hearing rumors that they have something that looks like DirecTV, but doesn't have a dish. In other words, it's going to be an iPad app that lets you look at a lot of different media and then push that media over to your big screen through the Apple TV, through the AirPlay protocol. And so if they do that, then I think people are going to go, oh, they actually have a strategy for the future. If they don't do that, then it's like, oh, boring iPhone
Mm-hmm.
launch, you know?
Okay. So second question is, what's your opinion about Facebook privacy issues? The timeline they delayed today.
I don't know that they delayed it. I saw that they said that in response to a court case, but I think the real reason they're delaying it is they're testing it out and making sure that people like it and make sure it works for normal people. It
Mm-hmm.
works great on my account. I mean, I'm looking at mine. Let me see if I can pull mine up. Hold on
Mm-hmm.
just a second. So, and so it looks like this, and it has pictures and your entire timeline all the way back as far as you want to go in history. I haven't yet put a lot of my baby photos up or gone and filled in the timeline older than 2008, which is when I really started getting onto Facebook. But you could. I like it. I know some people are freaked out by it because they realize just how much data Facebook has been capturing
Mm-hmm.
about you, and now you look back through there, and it's like, whoa! It remembered my birthday from 2008, and it remembered that photo that I uploaded 3 years ago of a drunken weekend or something like that. And so people are starting to realize just how much data they've given Facebook, or how much data their friends have given Facebook on your behalf, and that sometimes freaks people out. I think once you get over that initial shock, like, oh, geez, Zuckerberg's been collecting a lot of stuff about me. I really like it. Looking back through my life, it's really, really pretty cool to be able to look at birthday parties,
Yeah. Some memories.
gigs, and here's a picture of MG Siegler
Yeah.
at Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a lot of fun to go back and look at all that.
It's like photo album.
Have that reaction.
Yeah. So, okay, how is tech scene doing in US? An interesting company lately? Maybe new Twitter or Facebook? Something about it? You covering a lot of these startups?
I cover a lot of startups. I don't see a new Twitter coming up. The one the companies that get me interested are like 955 Dreams, which builds an iPhone app called Band of the Day right now. And they're the ones who really explain this 3-screen strategy to me, where they have an app that works one way on the iPhone, another way on the iPad, and a third way on the TV. And I find them very innovative. We're all, in terms of the big companies, that Facebook is driving a lot of the Silicon Valley strategy right now because they're just so aggressive on strategy. I just interviewed eBay's CEO about that on Friday, and he's making lots of partnerships with Facebook. And I think tomorrow we're going to see again Apple and Facebook join up. So on the big side, it's Facebook. That's what's top of mind for me right now. On the smaller side, there's a lot of innovative companies, from Foursquare to Band of the Day to TripIt to Runkeeper, but all those actually also fit into Facebook with the new Facebook platform that was announced 10 days ago.
Okay, from your perspective, what is the best startup company in 2011?
Well, that's a tough one. It's a tough one because I haven't seen one that has come out of the gate and just taken off like a rocket. Instagram late last year was probably the example of the best startup. I don't know. I mean, in terms of my favorites, I like companies like this 955 Dreams. I'm struggling to come up with one that just is a standout though this year.
Okay.
If you look, let's just unpack that. If you look at like who won TechCrunch Disrupt, it was Shaker. It's an okay company, but it's for the Facebook, and it hasn't had enough time for me to say it's definitively great. It was good enough to win the contest, but not definitively great. Companies to watch are Color. They just came out with a new iPhone app for capturing video and pictures. And they have lots of funding, and they're an interesting company to watch because even if they fail, it's going to be interesting to watch them fail. Some trends. I mean, there's a company called GoPollGo, GoPollGo, which lets you build real-time polls and see the results in real time, and it's quite cool. And if that gets integrated into something like Google Plus or Facebook, that'll be very, very, very cool. But that's sort of like a feature of a company rather than just a really strong company. I can go through the little companies one by one, but I need more time to say there's definitively one that's just going to be mind-blowing. I haven't seen the Twitter of 2011 yet.
Okay, now interesting question. What do you think about Arrington move with TechCrunch?
A lot of drama. I think Arrington got what he wanted, which was get out of TechCrunch and not work for Arianna Huffington. And he probably got most of his earnout. So he got all his money. He got his fund that he wanted to start. He's free of having to go to meetings and worry about dealing with the bosses. And you can tell his writing on his blog has become much better over the last couple of weeks than it was for the last year.
He's more focused now on writing, or?
I think he's just having fun, and it shows in his writing.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how do you see the future in tech? Is it all gonna be mobile?
Facebook. Which means it is mobile, because if Facebook doesn't get on mobile, and if they let Google get an advantage there, then you'll see people start to move off of Facebook and into Google, because if Google finds a way to communicate on the mobile phone in a new way, that'll be interesting. I think it's all about Facebook right now. My friend Steve Gilmore says it's all about Apple, which means that tomorrow it's going to be all about Facebook. Okay, now. That's how you look at it. when you say it's about mobile, absolutely. But it's what do you do with the mobile, right? And Facebook is the only company that has a strategy for integrating all of the apps that I've heard of, right? They showed off food spotting and Runkeeper and other apps that are integrated into the Facebook platform. And if that happens, then Facebook takes over mobile. And Google doesn't have an answer yet to that.
And what about Google Plus?
I love it. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I post all my serious stuff there because one, Google has a search engine and Facebook doesn't. But it's not a Facebook killer. It's something else. It's a great place for professional content developers to post content. With the exception of we don't know yet how professionals are going to monetize there. So most of the professionals are putting links in there with a little bit of text and trying to get people to come out of Google Plus and go off to their blog.
Okay.
If Google can change that and help professionals monetize inside Google Plus, then I think they could change the game. And we'll see if Facebook does that next year too. I am hoping.
Okay, who will be the best iPad competitor?
Amazon right now, mostly because of price, but also because of their ecosystem. There's only 2 companies that have my credit card on the web. Well, that's not true. I buy stuff elsewhere, but two major ones.
Amazon and Apple.
Amazon and Apple, right? And so that alone tells you a lot about what's going on in the world.
Okay, on one short now, what do you think about our Balkan market? So Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia, Bosnia.
Yeah, I don't watch individual markets that much. I watch companies that are trying to build worldwide markets. So I don't know what the local market's like there, but I expect it's going to be very similar. When I travel the world and go to Europe, I'll be in Europe at the web conference in December again. Or if you go to Israel or China or Japan or any of the other places I've been, the markets are very similar to San Francisco with some exceptions. I mean, I'm meeting in an hour with Waze, which is an Israeli company, and they're doing very well in Israel, and they're doing pretty well here. But they're trying to build a worldwide brand, and that's the kind of company I watch. I don't watch companies that just aim at a local market.
And last question, what about the health of Steve Jobs? Do you know everything about it or something?
I don't know it in detail. I keep hearing rumors that he's not very well and he's not leaving the house. So I don't expect to see him tomorrow, and it doesn't look good. My wish is out to him. It's got to be tough to live with cancer.
Yep.
The way he has. So, but yeah, it's not looking good from what I'm hearing in the valley.
Okay, thank you, Robert Scoble.
Thank you.
And hope to hear you sometime soon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.